We will now call the planning commission meeting of October 22nd, 2024 to order. Roll call, please.
Hannah here.
Alja here.
Chinsky here.
Lorick here. Gavich here.
Guzikowski here.
Seifert here.
Chandler here.
We have the privilege of doing 2 minutes. If we could, please, we'll do them separately. We'll start with the minutes of September 24th, 2024.
Didn't we approve those in the minutes?
No, it should have been as a hold.
If you looked at the statement for the minutes of October 8th, it says a motion was made for approving the 24th. I made the motion and it was approved in the
Well-
minutes of 08. Or
We will have to, hang on. Oh, we held.
I was not excused. I was here. It says Commissioner Hannah were excused. I was not excused. I just was a couple of minutes late.
Oh, yeah, it should say later in the minutes, I made mention if, that the last meeting was the 24th. I made notice in there, that maybe they didn't catch it on the tape, that, you had arrived, that you should be marked present but late. So let's do this, let's just to be clear, let's approve the 24th minutes as amended. Well, actually, we don't need to amend the 24th, we'll have to amend the 8th. Correct in
So
that?
just do the 8th and
Well, we held minutes. Oh. The 8th. We held the 8th.
Thing from the packet.
Gotcha.
So we could
It's the
approve
8th, okay. So we don't have to approve the 24th.
They weren't approved previously, so motioned them to be approved today or reviewed today.
The 24th,
Yeah. And
okay.
then, of course, there's the
Okay.
ones from the 8th.
The 8th, whichever. Okay. All right, let's start with the 24th.
Seifert moves to approve the minutes of September 24th, 2024.
Guzikowski will second.
Roll call, beginning with Christine.
Hannah, I.
Alja.
Chinsky, aye.
Lorick, aye. Gavich, aye.
Guzikowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, I.
And then the 8th, but we'll need an amendment to that, recognizing that Commissioner Hannah was here, but a few minutes late. Oh, yeah, it does say that. Never mind, we don't need any amendments. All we need is a motion to do the 8th. You guys are killing me. Okay,
Guzikowski, motion to approve the October 8th, 2024 minutes as presented.
Seifert seconds.
roll call.
Hannah, I.
Yeah.
Alja.
Chinsky, aye.
Lorick, aye. Gavich, aye.
Guzikowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, I.
Okay, on the new business, item 4A, it is a site review plan, submitted by Quentin Marks on behalf of Prado for a fence on the property in 1957 West Creekside Circle. Todd?
Yeah, so the applicant is proposing to construct a fence along the east property line. You can see from the current conditions there, they do have a chain link fence which runs along that property line, and they intend to completely remove that chain link fence to install the proposed fence, which will be a 6-foot tall cedar wood fence, as shown in front of you there, and to be located, like I said, along the east property line as shown on the site plan, shown in red is where the fence will be placed. Just in motion, and staff recommends approval subject to the conditions in front of you.
Okay. Before we go to the commission, does the applicant want to say anything, or just wait on any possible questions? You want to wait, Kevin? Okay. Start with the commissioners. Chauncey, let's start with you. You look ready.
I do have a question. In our notes,
it identifies that the fence will be placed on top of the retaining wall. Can you provide a little more information on that? So will that be changed or that's approved as is?
Applicants want to
Okay.
comment, but
Okay.
Hello. So yeah, so the fence will go along the top of that retaining wall where the existing fence already is. So yeah, there wouldn't be any changes there. It wouldn't come all the way down to the parking lot.
You need your name.
Oh, your name and address.
Oh, sorry. Quentin, so my name is Quentin Marks, and I'm property manager at Prado, 1957 West Creekside Crossing.
Thank you.
I guess I am not familiar with this. Is that acceptable to have it on top of the other item? I don't know enough to say that's good or not.
yeah, I mean, the fence was reviewed by staff and meets requirements of fences. For,
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Fred?
Yeah, I don't have any questions at this time.
Okay, Chris?
I think it looks good. I like a lot.
Okay, Greg?
Is there history with this fence? I mean, was there a problem with the chain link? Was this request of a neighbor to put a privacy fence up?
Well, it's leftover construction fence from construction when we built the property. We'd like to dress it up a little bit better.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Ashley?
No questions. Thank you.
Steve?
Fence gonna be stained, painted, or just,
It's a white cedar, so no plans to do any painting or staining. Just the natural look of it.
Okay, Christine?
No questions, thank you.
Okay. Just one question. You're only gonna run it, north-south. It will not go east-west on Drexel at all.
Correct.
It'll just come up there. Will this aid in the upkeep of, I know we had some issues. You're on a pretty steep slope there and keeping the landscaping done on that hill. I think you guys were working with staff. It's kind of part of the solution to get in there. I'm not,
We'll make it easier. The fence will stop.
Kevin, if you're gonna speak, we'll need your name and address.
I'm Kevin Kennedy, with Northwestern Mutual, 720 East Wisconsin Avenue. We're the owners of Prado. The fence will stop at our at the face of our building, so it won't run all the way out to Drexel. at
Okay.
the Block views.
Oh, okay,
It stops at our building edge.
okay. Anything? No?
Yeah, I actually have one more question.
Yes.
So do we have access from the fence, like any door, or is just gonna be all around? It's just too much blocking, like emergency access, like a door or like a emergency door if someone wanna get exit and it just blocked all around?
Well, it's sitting kind of on top of a retaining wall, so it might be dangerous to have a door there. If people tried to step off of that, it's a drop off. It varies from a couple feet to maybe 6 feet.
Is it all around a
No.
retaining wall, or there's somewhere it's just on the ground?
Just on the ground, on top of the retaining wall, like back about a foot behind the retaining wall.
Okay,
And it'll run, just a straight line run from north to south.
sure.
People could walk around it.
Yeah, there
I guess.
wouldn't be any
Okay, so there is no access whatsoever.
I would
Okay.
think the neighbor would be appreciative, because if there's any headlights currently going through that chain link, it's quite a better option. Appreciate it. Okay, any further discussion? If none, motion please.
Seifert moves that the planning commission approves site and related plans submitted by Quinlan Marks on behalf of Pralo for the fence on the property at 1957 West Creekside Crossing Circle with the following conditions. 1, that all relevant code requirements remain in effect.
Guzekowski, a second.
Roll call beginning with Steve.
Mulch eye.
Kipchinsky, aye.
Laura, aye.
David Chime.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, aye.
Hannah, aye.
Great, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Will get us to 4B, and that is a site review plan submitted by Matthew Fondant, PE at Atwell LLC, on behalf of Sunrise Shores Mobile Park Home for site modifications to the properties located at 8481 and 8519 South Fifth Avenue. Todd?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, the property went under new ownership in 2022. The new owners of the mobile home park that in March of 24 had applied for permits, and staff noted that there was no approved site plan as would be required. So the applicant is seeking site plan approval for its current building location, which is shown here, as well as the future building location. So, like I said, I have the existing site plan up for you in front of you there. You know, the mobile home park dates back into the 1960s and does contain legal non-conforming buildings. And showing you the proposed site plan, and where you can see there's two units circled in red that intend to be relocated. Those were units 14 and 15. And so when they're relocated, they will be set to be conforming with current code. So staff recommends approval of subject to conditions in front of you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Todd. Applicant, want to say anything if you're here, or do you want to just wait on some questions? Oh, yep. Come on up, sir. We'll need your name and address.
Daniel Joas. I'm the vice president for Sunrise Shores Mobile Home Park at 8481 South Fifth Ave. So to clarify his statements, A14 sites, A14, A15, were there prior to our ownership. They were placed and occupied prior to our ownership. So the proposed site plan is actually where it would be located if those two residents or homes were either moved out or the home was moved out. We're asking for it to be exception for right now because that other plat below it is actually owned by us as well. That has a site-built home that's also owned by Sunrise Shores. So we would ask that those two homes actually remain without displacing the residents to get those
So basically, we'd grandfather them in until ownership changed or they decided to move and take their mobile home with them.
correct. That way we're not displacing it.
Right. Through no fault of their ownership, it's just something that went on down there years ago.
Staff considers them legal non-conforming as stated, so
Yeah.
so they move.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Might just want to hold tight just in case. Jossie, you want to start out again?
I do have a question. I noticed that the proposed area would happen, Mayor, as you identified, they move or there are changes in the future. How do we ensure this is implemented? Do we have to add something to one of the conditions for the future?
Wait, Todd, if I get this wrong, please correct me. As the home would go out, a new one would come in, and I believe it would be subject to inspection for electrical hookup and plumbing. We would know that a new resident exists because each one of these has their own address.
And new
Yes.
permitting.
And,
Yeah,
and,
so
they,
they-
and they would be permitted.
Yeah, I mean, they would have to file for a permit, apply for a permit at the time, and then we would check it against the site plan to make sure that it's consistent.
Thank you.
Okay. Fred?
Do you own the property south of that
We do,
area?
yeah. So there's a site-built home, a garage, and a shed there, of which we have applied for a raising permit to try to demo the site-built, the garage, and the shed. They're uninhabitable. They're just not conditions that we would like to rent. So we would just like to eliminate that and not rebuild it, but understanding that's not what this is for. That's just that land, that whole plot is ours as well.
You do own that property that we're infringing on.
Exactly, yeah.
Thank you.
I don't have any questions.
Craig?
So are these two separate lots? Is that what the infringement is? And is there
So
any
it's
plans
two
to
separate
combine-
parcels.
Combine the lots?
We wanted to, but we were told we cannot
Oh,
right now.
Okay.
Once the person.
We would have to rezone it because it's zoned single family. It needs to be zoned MH. It's not, we don't have plans for that right now. We just wanted to cross this bridge because we're trying to put a few different homes on the site, which we applied for permits for in March. We're just trying to get those filled and then we can kind of cross the bridge. We also, like I said, applied for a raising permit due to a health hazard. The garage actually collapsed. So we're trying to get all of that taken care of. It's just, we're kind of in a standstill because of this, so.
Okay. But yeah, I have no problem with it.
Ashley?
No questions, thank you.
Steve?
No questions.
Dean?
No questions, thank you.
Okay. I'm fine with the whole thing. I guess my only question is, on A1415, they're infringing. If both those persons decided to move on and somebody came in with a shorter mobile, keep that configuration, otherwise you'd probably need a CSM.
So we have actually looked into that prior to submitting the proposed site plan. It would only have to allow a 12-foot home. We can't due to current setbacks if we're changing the home. So based on the amount that we would have to keep from the road and everything, it just wouldn't work. Setback from property line, setback from road would only allow that smaller home.
Okay, because
Or 24.
I noticed the
25.
setbacks all vary in.
Yeah, so as far as,
1960s is when they were
Yeah.
building these, so
yeah, as far as legal nonconforming, we don't look at those if we're replacing like for like. The problem is we can't replace like for like because it's encroaching on the other property line.
No, it wouldn't be like for like. I guess, if my eyesight's right, these things are 76, 78.
Yep.
Somebody came in with a 52 footer. Stay.
So if you look at the proposed site plan, we maximize the amount that we would have based on setbacks. And it would be 21 and, well, the box size is 21 and a half feet. So just say 22, we can't fit a 22-foot home. And honestly, it wouldn't really be a good home. So. This was not ideal situation. We tried looking at all the different options without displacing the residents. And that was kind of the best case.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, I'm fine with it. I just thought, space
Of
there.
course.
Just anything from fire? Assistant Chief Havey, anything on this one? Okay. There's no further discussion. Motion.
Clerk moves to approve site plan submitted by Matthew Fontenot, P.E., Atwell, LLC, on behalf of Sunrise Shores Mobile Park for site modifications to the properties at 8481 and 8519 South Fifth Avenue with the following conditions. One, that all relevant code requirements remain in effect.
Guzekowski will second.
Roll call, beginning with Ashley.
Shinsky, aye.
Lorik, aye.
David Chai.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, aye.
And aye.
Paul Jai.
Great, thank you. Okay, item C is a site plan review, submitted by Joe Sexton, Schwartz Partners LLC for the construction of a silo at Independence Corrugated, an existing business located at 525 West Marquette Avenue. Todd?
thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, the application is for the addition of a starch silo. The proposed silo will be constructed of steel and will be adjacent to the western elevation of the existing building, as shown here. Silo will be placed, if you can see where my cursor is, between kind of where this van and the dock doors. Better seen from their site plan. It will be placed on an existing concrete foundation. The proposed silo is constructed of steel and is approximately 48 feet 3 inches tall and 12 inches in diameter. And its dimensions are within the regulations of the M1 zoning district. And the silo will be similar to the silo that the applicant has across 6th Street currently. So there's a photo there of what that one looks like. So it'll be a near mirrored image there. Staff recommends approval subject to conditions you have in front of you.
Okay, thank you, Todd. Applicant, anything, or you just want to wait on questions? Okay, Joe. Christine, you want to start?
Yes, I have no questions.
Okay. Steve?
No questions.
Ashley?
No questions.
Greg?
No questions.
Chris?
No questions.
Brad?
No questions.
Chauncey?
I do have one question for the applicant.
Your name and address.
My name is Chad Gillenwater. I'm here on behalf of Independence Corrugated with Schwartz Partners, and my address is 10570 South Jessica in Oak Creek.
My question in regards to the new silo, will it have the same material as the one across the street, or will it be used different?
More or less, we currently use wheat starch across the street at what we call the East Plant on Marquette. We use corn starch at the West Plant. It kind of goes depending on price, but for right now, wheat will be the starch moving forward. But it could switch to corn, but they're basically the same material from a usability standpoint.
Thank you.
Okay. Mike, anything from fire? Nothing from fire. I don't have a problem with it at all. I just want to say, I've had the privilege of touring and being inside Independence Corrugated. It's an amazing place. They do some really great work there. Really interesting if you're kind of a factory nerd on how they do stuff. Huge printers there. Its machinery is pretty impressive. So, really great addition in Oak Creek. Really good. I hope you guys. We do the peek behind Oak Creek. It'd be wonderful. You guys showed your place off. We usually do it in the springtime.
Mm-hmm. Always available.
Appreciate it. Thank you. There's no further discussion. Motion on C.
Guzekowski will make a motion that the Plan Commission approve site and related plans submitted by Joe Saxon, Schwartz Partners, for construction of the silo at Independence Corrugated on an existing business located at 525 West Marquette Avenue with the following condition. 1, that all relevant code requirements remain in effect.
Seifert seconds.
Roll call, beginning with Greg.
Clark, aye.
Gavich, aye.
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, aye.
Anna, I.
Paul Chai.
Kipchinsky, aye.
Okay, just before we adjourn, we had a great Fall Fest, really family fun event. We had beautiful weather. We kind of ordered that in for it. Everything went really well. But it was a really nice day out there. I want to thank all the staff, DPW, and everybody that made that happen over the weekend. That was just wonderful. And just a reminder, early voting did open up here in Oak Creek. Our clerk and deputy clerk and all our volunteer poll workers are working very hard to ensure voting goes off smoothly this year. So you can take advantage of that, or of course vote the day of. So with that, motion to adjourn, please.
Seifert moves to adjourn at 6:25.
Guzekowski, will second.
Roll call. Chris, you want to start?
Guzekowski, aye.
Seifert, aye.
Chandler, aye.
Anna, I.
Paul Chai.
Kipchinsky, aye.
Clark, aye.
Gavich, aye. All right, everybody. Night. Have a great week.
Yeah,
This is another good one.